Fittipaldi pitted 7 laps later. He's got 7 more laps of fuel in that tank. He's been picking up about 7/10 to 8/10 of a second a lap on Roberto Moreno. He is coming fast.
Well, you've heard the head for the Wilson team. What about it, Patrick Racing, Gary Gerald?
Quick word with Jim McGee. Okay on fuel, and how concerned are you about Fittipaldi?
Well, we're real concerned. It's real close, but we're good on fuel. We're just trying to save our tires, and we have, and so now we try and make a run at it.
Look. Boy, he's a wily old veteran. He's been around these wars for so many years, and he's brought so many guys home that he's trying to get Roberto on the podium again. Remember last year, Paul, when Roberto was on the podium and he couldn't get out of the car?
Yeah, they couldn't get the steering wheel
the steering wheel out, and finally when they got him out, they were tossing him around like a baseball.
Remember that he finished third last week at Detroit, and maybe a second here today, maybe even a win. Next week we go to Cleveland, where he won last year. Could be a good streak for Roberto.
You saw Fittipaldi right up against the pit wall.
Dario Franchitti just got around Scott Dixon. You wonder what it cost him in tires.
Yeah, because as we saw in that last lap, even coming down the back straightaway now, the guys are on the far outside of the track, completely off the racing line, simply looking for water to try to keep these tires from chunking. Fittipaldi that time picked up another 7/10 of a second. Just over 2 seconds behind Roberto Moreno now.
Again, coming up next, Sports Center. As soon as we conclude here and interview the winner.
Well, if the math works out right, Fittipaldi may be able to catch Moreno, but I think he's going to run out of time prior to the checkered flag. The pace is picking up right now. Christian Fittipaldi in the 97-mile-an-hour range. Everyone, only 2 cars in the 96-mile-an-hour range. Papis Moreno, everyone back in the 95s and 94s.
Good job.
I believe 2 laps to go, and the interval first to second, 1.9. Another 10th out. Papis stretches for Moreno, but Fittipaldi is closing on Moreno. Look at them all go over and use the cool water on the far right side of the track, driver's right, try to cool those tires down.
About the drivers going over to find the water. The teams are telling them to do so because they're monitoring. You can hear the focus, but they can tell when the tire pressures come up. Then they radio to their driver and say, find some puddles.
Oh, sure, they know by the telemetry if the pressure's up, then it's up. I'm looking at the right front.
White flag, this time by
of Max Papis. Looked like it developed a
Christian, no pressure.
It's like the blister lines.
A wear line there, yeah. Keep an eye on that. On the final lap now. White flag is out, 1 to go. The clock counting down. It is absolutely a timed race, officially notified about 9 minutes ago to all the teams, though that was no surprise. Behind Max Papis, who has pulled out another 10th on Roberto Moreno, is Fittipaldi, Wilson, Carpentier, Franchitti, Dixon, Andretti, all very close together.
Max Wilson has finished in 4th place for a small team. This will be as good as a victory. Fittipaldi, I'm afraid, will just not have enough track or time to catch and then challenge Moreno. And Max Papis headed for his first road course victory in the Kart Series, his 2nd overall. A perfect drive for Team Rahal, for the Letterman team.
And for Max Papis, who won in Miami, now looks for his 2nd career win. And it comes in his 86th start. Checkered flag ahead. He's still going to go over and cool him off.
We keep the game. We are the king. We are the king. We are the king, guys. Hey, baby, you're the man today. You are the man, baby.
Oh, baby, let's celebrate it.
It's good to be king.
Now Max Papis takes the win, followed by Moreno. Fittipaldi Franchitti, Dixon, and Andretti. No one was able to change position on the last lap. ESPN Speed World coverage of the CART Portland 200 has been brought to you today by FedEx, proud sponsor of the FedEx Championship Series. So it's unofficial, but it looks good. Congratulations to Max Papis, his third win for Team Rahal this year. Kenny Breck has two, and now Papis climbs on board. Don't forget, coming up next is Sports Center. Here comes Franchitti up for a little congratulations. Good friends there. Max puts on quite a show at the end of the pit straight after crossing the line and taking the checker. Jan Beekes.
And with a choked up Mark Johnson, I know I saw you pacing back and forth on the timing stand. Really, how much of a concern was the fuel there in the end?
It's really close, John. I'm guessing we don't have much more than a gallon in the tank right now, and we the guys here on the stand just did a great job today keeping track of the timed race. And like I said earlier, I'm just thankful that CART called it right on the button, because we would have been it would have been very close if we'd had to go two more. But the guys on the stand did a great job. Max did a great job. We're just happy as can be.
Congratulations.
Boy, and they should be. In fact, those two have been together a long, long time. Don't forget, next week, we're going to be in Cleveland for the Marconi Grand Prix of Cleveland, qualifying and CART today on ESPN2, the race itself on ABC. Max Papis is still celebrating. Christian Fittipaldi has already made it over to the winner's circle. Fittipaldi has gained 6 positions in the points. He's now in 5th position. Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Max Papis comes out of here. He goes into a jubilant pose, as you can well imagine. Career one, number 2 is there. The hardware is intact. The helmet and the visor now comes up. The helmet's still in place. Max, maybe we can get a quick word here. We don't have much time. He's trying to get rid of that helmet as he celebrates a victory from the pole. An impressive drive today. Didn't make a mistake. Max, tell us, how tough was it under these conditions? Were you at any time very concerned? Because everybody went off course.
This was one of the most difficult races. We won because we were the fastest and the smartest, and the Miller team have done a fantastic job. Ford was assisting me very well, and Paris and Third. We're there all the way, man.
There's going to be a party in Portland tonight, guys.
Now Max Papis, congratulations in the points. Fittipaldi makes the big gain. In fact, 1st through 4th are unchanged. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.